Hey guys, welcome back to another impressions video. I'm here to talk about Super Kirby Clash, yet another Kirby game that I played this year and I finished. This one a little bit unusual, a little bit different than other Kirby games in the sense that I did put a ton of time into this game, for better or worse, and it's a little bit of I guess, separate or different type of Kirby game in the sense that if you want to complete this game, it may take you more than normal. I mean, your typical Kirby games, they're known to be easy and pretty short, whereas this game, yes, it's on the easy side. It can be on the grindy side because in this game you level up, but in order to beat the game, you have to invest more time than typical. I'm not really sure, maybe 10 to 15 hours. And I logged 30 hours in this game, so that's a record for any Kirby game, and it's a testament of how much I enjoy this game. And it's like I said, it's a little bit of a different Kirby game. This is a downloadable only game, as you can see here. I don't have any physical media with me here to show the game. But this was unveiled after a Nintendo Direct earlier this year, where Nintendo basically announced, hey, you know, after the presentation, it's a free to start game, and I know a lot of people hate that type of business model. The good thing is that free to start is you can always download the game, get your feet wet, and try the game out and see if you like it or not. But that's what I did basically. I downloaded the game, tried it out, and you have the options to, I guess, speed up the leveling process in this game. But before I go into that, I'll just give a brief rundown for those of you that are not very familiar with the game. This is actually based on a game that I have it here for the 3DS, because they give you a rundown of previous games. And this is basically very similar to the what is it called? The Team Kirby Clash Deluxe. There were so many 3DS downloadable games on the eShop. I guess last gen, let's call it that, because the 3DS is technically part of last gen. But there were so many, as you guys can see here, there's so many downloadable eShop games, and that particular one was a mini game that you unlocked after you beat Kirby Planet Robobot, which is a mainline Kirby game. And then Nintendo decided to release, you know, the game itself as a downloadable eShop game, and they did that with a lot of the mini games, both from Kirby Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot on the 3DS. So this game, Super Kirby Clash on the Nintendo Switch, is very similar to the 3DS one, but since I didn't play the 3DS one, to me it was a brand new experience. And as I mentioned, it's a free to start boss rush type of game, or if you want to put it a different way, it's kind of like a Kirby Monster Hunter-ish version, in the sense that you fight bosses and you level up, and you can improve your your armor or your weapons in the for your Kirby character. The game does have a short story mode. It's very I guess it's always simple. I mean, as you can expect from any Kirby game, it's basically you're competing. You're basically competing and trying to defeat all these different bosses. A lot of them are based on older bosses from older Kirby games, like Wispy Woods and Krakow, you know, like the Cloud and all that. So a lot of the bosses are from previous Kirby games, and there are some new ones, and some of them date to later titles like the Planet Robobot series and whatnot. But essentially, the objective is for four different Kirbys to basically take on different bosses, and you have to defeat them. You can play this game by yourself and have 3 AI companions, or you can do some local co-op type of play, or you can join or have other people online join you. And the addicting part for me was, you know, this is a very short game. It's very easy to play in short bursts, because when you face off an enemy, you're not going to be playing more than 5 minutes. You know, it takes less than 5 minutes, sometimes typically less than 2 minutes to defeat a boss, depending on your level. I mean, if you're over leveled, you can beat a boss in like 10 seconds, to be honest. But I think that's the fun of the game. It has like a quick pick up and play nature that to me was very, I guess, entertaining, considering that not playing as many games as I used to this year. I've been pretty busy, so for me it was the perfect type of game, you know, pick up and play type of gameplay that you know, you play different bosses, and it's always fun to join online and play with different players. And the gameplay, the variety, even though it's very simple, it's at the same time fun and somewhat addicting. Always trying to upgrade your weapons, level up your Kirby character, upgrade your armor. And each boss fight also has different objectives. So if you're a completionist, you can try to have different objectives. For example, some of them are beat this boss in under, you know, I don't know, 25 seconds, or beat this boss using only hammer class, because this game has 4 different Kirby classes that you can pick before the fight. You can have the sword hero, I think it's called, the hammer lord, the Dr. Healmore, and then the beam mage, I think. So with the beam mage, you can stop time. You attack the enemies from afar, kind of like shooting your beams, and then you can also have a supercharged attack that freezes time, and that allows the rest of your teammates to inflict a lot of damage upon the bosses. And then you have Dr. Healmore, which is you can also attack the enemy, but the main ability is you can heal your companions in your party. Then you have Sword Hero, which is kind of like your standard sword attack type of Kirby character. And then you have Hammer Lord, which is a very slow character because you carry a hammer, but it's the strongest weapon in the game, so it can inflict a lot of damage, and it's kind of like your tank character. So it does have a very nice variety. It does have a very nice, I don't know, a strategy to it, as long as you and the other 3 people coordinate, which is kind of hard because there's no voice chat or anything like that. But if you manage to do that, it can become a very fun game. And like I said, you can play solo. The game, in fact, has like a section, like a story section, where you play by yourself, and it kind of has like a story mode. And then you have the online portion where you level up quicker. So now to the free to start thing, I know a lot of people complain, a lot of people hate that business model, but the good news is this is probably one of the most balanced and fair free to start games that I've seen, because I've played a few free to start games on my phone, you know, either, you know, Nintendo games, but also games from other companies that are free to start, and that, you know, they make you pay. And for this particular Kirby game, yes, you can only play certain number of missions before you have to spend apples. That's kind of like the currency in this game, the apples, in order to play the next mission. But everything is fair. It's not very quote-unquote expensive to use the free apples that you get during the game. Now it does get a little bit I guess troublesome later in the game when you're trying to when you're trying to level up to the higher levels. That's when I think you hit a barrier. But for the most part, I was surprised. I was looking in the forums of this game. A lot of people have managed to play this game and beat the game without spending a single dollar. Now, me being impatient and being, I guess, supportive, I decided to buy the full version of the game, which is, I think, $39, and you get 2,000 apples a day. So what that means is that you don't have to grind as much, and you can use the apples to buy the weapons. But at the same time, it's not like you can buy your way to just level up a lot, because in order to level up, you need a lot of fragments. And the fragments, there's nothing you can do. You have to fight, you know, regular fights or complete missions and different objectives and whatnot. So there's a balance here where you don't necessarily buy your way into beating the game. And in fact, I put 30 plus hours into this, and I have not reached the maximum level. I have beaten the main story mode, and I have beaten all the online bosses all the way to the highest level. So in that sense, I'm done with the game. But if I want to be a completionist, I can always go to try to do all the objectives in this game, which is insane because they're very hard, and collect and buy all the weapons in this game, which is it could take a while, even though again I have the full version, and I have 2,000 apples a day it can be hard because you have to also collect fragments and like a precious stone or something, diamonds, in order to get the higher level weapons. So I'm really happy in how Nintendo handled the free-to-play aspect. Again, if you don't want to spend money or a lot of money, because they have different tiers. You know, they have the for example, they have you can spend like just a couple dollars to get a certain number of apples, but it's kind of unfair. To me, I just decided to go all out and buy the full amount because I was having fun with this game. And if I put 30 hours in this game, that's money well spent, in my opinion. You know, $40. There are many full-priced games that I have in my collections that are shorter than 30 hours. So I didn't have any problems spending my money or contributing towards the game, and I had a lot of fun with this game, to be honest. So I highly recommend that you guys try it out. One thing that surprised me is when I go to my friends list on the Switch, I did not see a whole lot of people on my friends list even try this game. So I say give it a shot. You know, if you haven't played the 3DS version, which is supposedly very similar, if you haven't done that, I say give this game a shot. I think there's a lot of things to do in the free to start mode. And then if you guys like it, you can spend a couple bucks here and there to get more apples, or buy the full game, you know, downright like I did. And I had a lot of fun. Me personally, I had a lot of fun. And it's the one Kirby game that I spent the most time, you know, 30 hours, which is crazy. It's not a mainline game, but it was a very addicting Monster Hunter Kirby type of experience. So I highly recommend it. Obviously, I had a great time, and again, the good thing is that you guys can try it for free. And so highly recommend it, in my opinion. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Just quickly, I'm going to touch on graphics, I guess, because I didn't really speak on graphics, but the graphics are colorful. They're kind of like based on the on the new Switch Kirby games. You know, their graphics are not gonna blow you away. Soundtrack is always good, and you can hear a lot of classic Kirby tunes. But I do have to say one minor complaint is the netcode in this game. It's not perfect, especially when you play with people that are from outside the US. Like there's a lot of Japanese players in this game, and it tends to slow down things a lot, and you can't just quit mid battle because you get penalized. So a lot of the battles are very slow. They're very slow. There's a lot of lag in some of the battles depending on where the players are. So just be warned that the netcode and the overall internet experience, multiplayer experience, is far from perfect, unfortunately, in this game. But if you're able to put up with that, I think this is a very fun, very well packed game that it's easy to pass judgment because it's free to start. So again, I had a good time, so hopefully you guys try it out, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later.